the power of social media. Today, we are talking about how social media has transformed from a simple communication tool into one of the most powerful forces in the world. In just a few decades, it has gone from being a space for personal interactions to something that influences global politics, economic systems, and even justice. What started as a way for people to connect and share information has evolved into a system that dictates narratives, controls reputations, and pressures governments to take action based on public sentiment rather than actual evidence. Social media has brought incredible benefits. It has given people a platform to raise their voices, has exposed corruption, and has forced institutions to be more accountable. It has made it easier than ever for people to access information, stay informed, and even build entire careers without relying on traditional media. At the same time, it has created an environment where misinformation spreads faster than truth, where people can be judged and punished within hours, and where governments sometimes act not based on justice, but simply to calm public outrage. The digital world has become a space where narratives can be controlled, and once an opinion is formed, changing it becomes almost impossible. The way information spreads today is not based on facts, but on engagement. Algorithms are designed to keep people online as long as possible, which means the most sensational, emotional, or controversial content is prioritized. This creates an online atmosphere where rational discussions become difficult and where emotions, rather than facts, shape public opinion. A single post or video can destroy someone's career, influence legal decisions, and even impact government policies. What used to take months or years to be investigated can now be decided by viral tweets and trending hashtags within days. One of the clearest examples of how social media now plays a direct role in justice is the case of Dilan Polat in Turkey. She became famous for showing off her wealth online. Her content, filled with images of expensive cars, designer clothes, and luxury vacations, attracted millions of followers. At first, she was admired, but as Turkey's economy struggled, her extravagant lifestyle started to spark backlash. People began questioning how she had become rich so quickly. Discussions about whether her businesses were legitimate or if she was involved in financial crimes started spreading across social media. These discussions quickly turned into accusations, and soon calls for an investigation flooded online platforms. Public opinion had already labeled her guilty before any formal charges were even made. Within weeks, the Turkish government responded to the growing outrage by launching an official investigation. The case moved much faster than usual, leading many to believe that the authorities acted not because of independent legal findings, but because they needed to calm public anger. The government could not ignore the pressure coming from millions of people online, so the decision was made to take action. When Dilan Polat and her family were arrested, the government did not just announce the news in a standard way. Instead, police released dramatic videos of their operations, showing luxury cars being seized, stacks of cash being counted, and the suspects being escorted in handcuffs. This was not just an investigation, it was a performance for social media. By making the arrest so public, authorities were able to control the narrative and show that they were responding to public demands. This is a clear example of how governments are now using social media not just as a source of information, but as a way to maintain control. When certain scandals trend online, governments act quickly to show that they are responding, often to distract from bigger political or economic problems. The timing of these cases often raises questions about whether the justice system is truly independent or if it is being influenced by public pressure. Once someone is targeted by social media outrage, escaping it becomes almost impossible. Whether or not a person is guilty, the damage to their reputation is permanent. Even if they are later found innocent, the initial accusations remain in people's minds. The speed at which judgments are made online leaves no room for fair trials or proper investigations. This has created an environment where fear dominates. People are afraid to express their opinions freely, knowing that one wrong comment or post could ruin their lives overnight. At the same time, social media's influence extends beyond individuals and into politics and law enforcement. In Turkey and many other countries, police and government agencies have started using social media strategically. Arrests, raids, and crackdowns are sometimes broadcasted live or turned into viral content to shape public opinion. This creates an unsettling reality where justice is no longer only about following the law, but also about maintaining public approval. When the government sees that people are demanding action against someone, they may decide to act, not necessarily because it is the right thing to do, but because it helps maintain stability. This is why many people believe that social media has become a form of digital mob rule. The loudest voices, rather than the most rational ones, often have the most influence. Governments are now in a position where they must constantly monitor social media to decide how to act, rather than following a structured and independent legal process. However, it is important to recognize that social media is not entirely negative. It has given people the ability to expose real corruption and fight for justice in cases where traditional media or legal systems have failed. Without it, many human rights violations, political scandals, and corporate crimes would never come to light. It has allowed people to organize protests, hold those in power accountable, and share knowledge instantly. At the same time, the way social media is designed encourages impulsive reactions rather than thoughtful discussions. It rewards outrage and controversy over facts. As a result, even though it has the potential to be a powerful tool for positive change, it is often misused as a weapon for quick and emotional decision-making. Completely avoiding social media is almost impossible in today's world. It is deeply integrated into modern life, shaping news, entertainment, and even the way people communicate with one another. However, being aware of its influence can help people navigate it more critically. Instead of reacting immediately to what is trending, questioning the source of information, and understanding the motives behind viral content can prevent manipulation. Social media has created both opportunities and risks. It has exposed corruption and connected people worldwide, but it has also given rise to a culture where public outrage can replace legal judgment. As governments, businesses, and individuals continue to rely on it, the challenge is finding a balance between using it as a tool for progress and avoiding the dangers of misinformation and mob rule. If you found this discussion interesting, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.